and today I will be reviewing the Ledlenser ML4 light lantern, lamp, whatever you want to call it. I purchased this with my own money 3 or 4 months ago now. I've used it at least a dozen times, fully tested it. I've used all the different settings, the functions in many different sets of conditions, and I'm extremely happy with this lamp. It's incredible. What I like about it, it's less than 10 centimeters tall. It's really tiny. I mean, look how small it is. It is extremely lightweight, 71 grams only. It's so unbelievably light, which is, I don't even notice that I have it with me when I'm hiking. I can clip it onto anything. It has a carabiner here, so I usually clip this onto the top of a trekking pole when I'm setting up a tarp camp, and it's just fantastic. It's extremely durable. This plastic on the outside is unbelievably tough. You can just feel the difference. I've owned lots of different lamps from many different brands, and this by far feels the sturdiest and the strongest. Even the small carabiner part on the top here, I don't even feel as though I could snap this even if I tried. The battery life, it's low consumption. You can choose between 5, 50, 150 and 300 lumens. That's extremely bright for a lamp of this size. If you use a 300 lumen setup, it steps down to 150 or potentially 50, 150 I believe, after 30 seconds or so for preservation. But if you needed something, it's an emergency, you just need extremely bright light for 30 seconds to move something, to grab something, to identify something, 300 lumens is super powerful for a lamp of this size, 10 centimeters tall. It's quite astonishing, really. I tend to use it on a 50 lumen setup, and with that I get, well, I've used this, let's put it this way, I've used this for a 2-night camp over 3 days, and it still held charge at the end. I've charged it when I got home, hadn't even had to think about it. This is what I most enjoy about this. Sometimes it sits in my drawer at home for 2 weeks, doesn't lose any of its battery, so there's no loss at all. That's really a key point as well. You shouldn't have to remember to charge it again before you leave for a camp when you charge it when you arrive home, right? But with many options you do. This you do not. That's awesome too. You get up to 45 hours on the lowest 5 lumen brightness, but I think that's too dark in my opinion. It's too low to do most things. Even if you're just sitting and reading, I think 50 for me is the minimum. But it just goes to show in an emergency situation, 45 hours, wow. The other thing I really enjoy about this is the dual power option. So yes, you can charge it as USB, it's USB rechargeable. That's really important for me. But also it uses an ion lithium battery. If this runs out and you don't want to use your power bank to recharge it, to charge it, you can use a standard AA battery instead. That's incredible, because I have enough things to worry about charging when I'm camping. I don't want this to be on that list, right? So the fact that I can just pop out the lithium ion rechargeable battery and put in a standard AA battery, that's just, it's a massive relief. Peace of mind with this is key. So overall, it's a glowing review. It's really an exceptional lamp. I'm so happy I bought it. I paid around 30 euros only for this. It probably sounds a little steep. Some people are thinking, oh, 30 euros for a lamp, that's a little excessive. Well, I'd had 3 options prior to that, all which range between sort of 15 and 20 euros, and they just didn't last. They didn't hold their charge. They promised 8 hours and I was getting 2-3 hours. I was having to charge them again and again and again. Over a 2-day trip, I had to charge 3 or 4 times. For something that wasn't even that inexpensive, I expected far better results from competitors, and they were very, very poor. This is just a whole different world. What do I not like about the Ledlenser ML4? Well, they claim that it's a feature, that it's a positive selling point, that it charges with a magnetic attachment, magnetic cable, something similar to a MagSafe. Well, I see what they were doing here. I understand the idea behind this. It means that, you know, if it drops, it's not going to pull something down. If you're charging it, it's attached to a power bank, for example, it's not going to dangle on there and potentially damage the cable or the power bank, the connections. I'm not really too sure why they went with this idea, in truth, because I would much rather this just charge with its standard USB Type-C, because it's yet another charging cable that I have to take with me. As I mentioned before, I've never had to charge it whilst out camping anyway, but I'm never going to leave without having the cable just in case, right? And, or maybe I should. Maybe since I can replace it with an AA battery, maybe I don't need to take this charging cable with me. I could just keep this leave this at home potentially, right? But you guys all know what I mean. It feels better to take the charging cable with you, but as it's a proprietary one and not a USB-C, it's an issue. It's an extra cable that I just really don't think they needed to do this. One other thing I should mention is once it's turned off, it stays lit up green. It has a specific type of, wait, there is a material, phosphorescent I think is the word. So for some time it stays green, actually for like many hours in fact. It stays a very, very dim green color, and that helps you to find it when it's dangling above you in a tent, for example. The other point here as well is that the on-off switch is on the top, which is protected by the carabiner, and it has a lock function, so if you hold it down for 5 seconds for traveling, it completely turns off. There's no issue with this turning on in your suitcase or in your rucksack or whatever. But I'm not entirely sure the lock's required, because it'd have to be a pretty unique set of circumstances where something gets underneath the carabiner and presses this. It could happen, of course, so I appreciate that there's the option. Red, white, flashing, there's just no end to the number of features that this ML4 has. Thank you for listening to this review. I paid for this myself. If anyone ever wants to send me something for me to take a look at, I'd love to do that. I would really enjoy reviewing new products. I'm always looking to add to my inventory of stuff, and I'm purchasing stuff on an ongoing basis, but whilst I'm not into sponsorship, I absolutely would give an honest and clear review of any product. I've been particularly emphatically positive about this, and I realise that it could seem a little biased, but it's absolutely not. I'm happy to point out any of the negatives on this, but there just aren't any apart from this damn charging cable. It's just perfect, and I'm extremely happy with this. For 35 euros, like £30 or $40 US, something along those lines, it's an unbelievable steal, and I highly recommend this. I think you can replace out your cheap alternatives with this and you'll get many years. It has a 7-year warranty as well, by the way. 7-year warranty. Psh, what's not to love? Thank you for watching. See you soon. Camping tip. When you're packing up your tarp, attach it to a couple of trees high in the air with the wind behind it. The wind will batter all of the water and dew off of both sides. It saves drying it at home for 24 hours. It'll dry here in 20 minutes. All packed up, ready to go, leave no trace. I'm going to hit the road, well, hit the fields on my way back. We're going to retrace the steps from yesterday, plus a pine forest at the end. Join me, let's go! This has to be one of my favourite spots anywhere. In the centre of the image you can see there's the road. It's looking very uphill today. Some of the cars are struggling to get up there, so that's going to be interesting. ¿Qué cosas llevas al camping? What things do you take camping? I'm going to force myself to answer this question in 1 minute, and I'm going to say this. I take a shelter, either a tarp or a tent. Sleep system, which includes a sleeping pad, sleeping bag and a pillow. I take a first aid kit, a hygiene kit, an electronics bag that includes chargers, power bank, camera gear, a small table, which is my only luxury, and of course my food and cooking bag that has a jerry can, a cup, a gas stove, food for breakfast, lunch and dinner, plus snacks, and I think that's it. And of course the rucksack itself. I believe I've covered everything. The Steinwood trekking pack, German brand, high quality, affordable price if you get it on a sale as I did with a discount code. The thing is, I can't really afford the lightweight gear that I would like, some of which I think you could argue I probably need at this stage, but it is what it is. Until then, I need something super strong, tons of support on my back, on my waist, on my shoulders, all the weight's down on my waist, and yeah, she does the job. I'm very happy with her. I spent about 6 months deliberating over whether to buy one or not, and I think this was the best I could possibly have got for the money. Highly recommended. I'll do a full detailed review on it on another occasion. I think that over the ridge there, just up there, is where some cars park there and people base themselves there for hiking in the area, and some tables and chairs there. So that's my goal. I've got to get up there, and then I'm going to continue on as I head down through a pine forest, try to add some variation to the scenery. As the legend Hazy from Haze Outdoors would say, medic! Thank you for your support, family and friends. You've got to start from somewhere, and we're starting from here. Thank you so much. Here's the point where we leave the world of deciduous, sparse vegetation, and we enter conifer, fir tree, pine tree world. Look at the significant difference in the light that passes through and the density of the trees, the vegetation. It's quite extreme. It's like you're entering another world. It's cooler already, I can feel it. Quite eerie, quite creepy. Such dense forest on either side. just feel as if someone could be sitting a few meters from you and you may not see them. I've always had a feeling like I'm being watched in this area. I really don't know why. I'm really not easily creeped out, but there is something a little unsettling about this environment. Being in the open, even if it's blistering heat, you feel like, you know, you can keep account of yourself. You can, your 360 vision, you know, something different. It's also probably because I watched far too many horror movies set in forests, pine forests especially, right? Please, 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 it would be hugely appreciated if you could give this video a like. This is the first ever video of this channel. I have a long way to go. If I have any chance of growing this channel, improving it, developing the ideas, traveling further distances, I need your help. And if there's any way you can support the channel, it would always be appreciated. Gratitude, appreciation, lots of love. Thank you guys. I'm really excited to take this pack off of my back. She's done me proud and I thank her for every step of the way, but I think we need some time apart. It's time to go home, I think. Till the next time, see you soon.